What is going on, ICBA fans? My name is Frosty, aka the Alpha Like a Rock, and welcome to week 4 of our ICBA league debut, whatever it is. I'm sorry, I'm doing this as quickly as I can because, as you guys can see, this is a bit late of a video. So, I've been having a lot of things going on in my real life. I just started a new job, and I've been really kind of getting that all. Over this last 2 weeks, I've been working. I've just started my new job last week during week 3, so I've been kind of getting more used to the new job that I'm doing. So with that, this week we were playing our division rival in the new London Zoroarks, who once were the Houston Raichus, aka the Charlotte Hornets, the Charlotte Beedrills. As it is being coached by UTurnCrobat, and so with this, I didn't get a very good chance to prep for this team. And looking at his team actually is better than mine. It just matches up very well against my team. So, but his team, it consists of Protean, Greninja, Excadrill, Latios, Sylveon, Rhydon, Alolan Ninetales, Braviary, Modemro, Vaporeon, Typhlosion, and Mienshao. So, like I said, we don't match up very well against this team just because Protean Greninja does so much work to half the mons I do. Also, Latios does lots of work. Excadrill could do some work. Mienshao is Mienshao, and it does work. So, like I said, I don't have the best matchup just because I just don't have the best matchup. But Alpha's going to be there cheering us on as always. So let's get into the team. So let me bring up, I have it ready this time. I'm actually prepared. So let me bring it up to time. So starting off with our first Mon, which is going to be our Gurren. We're bringing Scizor. It's got Bullet Punch, Superpower, Defog, and Roost. This is, and it's a full, it's defensive with a calm nature. 132 132 special defense, 124 defense, and then full bulk. Just so it's kind of a more passive mon, but it's just kind of there just in case he brings a couple of mons that are weak to steel, especially his Ninetales, as his Ninetales still gets worked in by that, and also his Sylveon gets worked in by that as well. So I don't think he'll bring that just because I have Scizor, so I'm not expecting it, but just in case, it's just a good mon. It can put in some work, plus it's a defogger for other things on the team as that happens. And then next we're bringing our Syndragoza, our Kyurem. This is Choice Scarf Kyurem with 100 speed, full modest nature, 148 in the HPs is to give me a lot of HP, and it is rocking Draco Meteor, Ice Beam, Flash Cannon, and Earth Power. Like I said, Choice Scarf. With Scarf, I outspeed everything, including non-scarfed Greninja. So Greninja is the fastest thing on his team. So with that, it just does a lot. Draco Meteor, if he doesn't bring a fairy, has no switch-ins to this. So everything he has will take lots of damage via that. So next we're bringing Toph, and Toph is going to be our kind of semi-win con, as it is rocking the Groundium Z. It is jolly natured with 252 in attack and then 100 in the HPs. It is rocking Earthquake, Knockoff, Brick Break, and Sword Stance. So another mon is supposed to combo with this, so that way after a Sword Stance I pretty much can hopefully sweep through the team, depending on if it can do that. So next we're also bringing Tide HE. This is a Rindoberry Tide HE, as I am expecting him to bring either Rotom Mow, or I am expecting him to bring Grass Snot Greninja, and so this will be able to get me to I'll be able to eat that Grass Knot very easily. It is rocking Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, Hidden Power, Fire, so that way if he turns Grass type using Grass Knot, I'll be able to hit him for max damage, and Pain Split. So 220 in the HPs, full calm nature with full investments in that, and 36 in the speed. So then from there we have our Fajita. Now this is my Rock Setter. It is rocking Toxic with an Air Blue, Flash Cannon, and Lava Plume. I do know that this thing pretty much gets walled by Vaporeon, but I can get a Toxic off on Vaporeon and get my rocks up, and that'll be able to do a lot. And plus this is a good switch into This is a good switch in for Earthquake Excadrills, as Excadrill would miss the Earthquake, but then have to go for something else, and I would be able to Lava Plume it on the next turn, as it is 244 in the HPs, 164 with a defensive nature, bold nature, and 100 in special attack, as Lava Plume does lots of damage. And then lastly, our last one we're bringing is our Leavania. First time we're ever bringing it. This is a Overcoat Jolly Leavania. It's basically a Suicide lead set, as it has Sticky Webs, Agility, Baton Pass, and Toxic. This combos in with Toph, as if I pass an Agility, I outspeed everything, including Scarf Greninja. And then once I get 2+2, I can literally try to sweep through the team as quickly as humanly possible. That's why I rock the Ground EMZ, just in case he brings something, I can pop that Ground EMZ, and I should be able to kill it. So the team itself, again, is Leaf Bay, Fajita, Tide HE, Toph, Syndragoza, and Gurren. So let's go into the match and let's see how we did. Alright guys, we're back, and as you can see, we see his team, and he brings right on Vaporeon, Rotom Mow, Greninja, Meanshao, and Excadrill. So I was a little shocked not to see the Latios, as I felt Latios was a good matchup. That's why I brought Kyurem. But as I can see from his team, he doesn't really have anybody that takes a Draco Meteor other than possibly an Assault Vested Excadrill. So there's nothing really that takes it all that well. So my backup win con is going to be Syndragoza here. So with this, this match was kind of a really good, it was really good for us. I felt we were able to finally do some stuff with it. But so let's start into it, and I'll kind of show you how it goes, because it as you're going to be able to see with it, you'll be able to tell how the match goes within the first 10 turns. So alright, so here I decided I'm going to lead off with Leap Bays. I want to try to get my Sticky Webs up, as he leads with Rhydon. This was good for me, and this is where I was kind of wishing that I had brought in Leap Blade, because if I had brought in Leap Blade, I would have been able to go for Agility and then go for Leap Blade immediately. Because I am sashed, so I'd be able to survive it. I knew here he'd go for Rock, so that's why I felt to go for the Agility. I should have probably put up the Webs, as the Webs here would have been really good, and then I could have Baton Pass out, but I just decided to Baton Pass out here and just kind of get into my Mon, is get into Toph, so that way Toph can take this Rock's damage and get this Intimidate off, as Intimidate will be able to lower this thing's attack and not hit me so hard. The only problem with that is I did not realize that, no, he goes for Earthquake here, so which is good for us because we get in for free. And so here I decided I'm gonna set up a Sora stance, since I don't think he has anything that really can touch me. But little did I do my research and forget that this thing gets Avalanche. So it's a good thing I didn't go for an attack here, because I would have KO'd us instantly. So here I need to KO this thing with Earthquake, and so I go for Earthquake, and I try. Alright, so pretty much we lost my win con right off the bat. So as it is, the match pretty much goes downhill. I should have popped the Ground EMZ here just to guarantee that kill, but all my calcs showed that I should have KO'd it with it, unless it was full physically defensive, because all the calcs didn't have any sort of physical investments. But he did later reveal that he was full physically invested. So he survived it, and he was able to KO us there. I should have been able to KO it. Little did he did tell me later that his Greninja did have the Water Shuriken, so if he had brought in Greninja here that turn, I would have been able to KO it. As you guys can tell, the match just pretty much goes downhill from here, and it doesn't get any sort of good for us. Here I was just going to take the Scold and kind of try to get the rocks up, so I go back into it drags me out, so I'm not going to waste time with it. We lose. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm just going to have the video playing in the background. You can see how the match goes, but we're going to lose. The only kill that comes in is from Kyurem, which comes in, I think, like 7 or 8 turns from now. So Kyurem gets our only kills. We take a 5-0 loss, and it just this just comes down to just poor execution. I tried to plan the best I could, but like I said, the new jobs got me, not really thinking about this because I'm so concentrated on the new job. So as it is, we just take the loss. I knew it was a bad matchup. It wasn't a great matchup for us to begin with. So with that, it was just kind of a sad match for me, because I felt I could have done better, but it just happens. Sometimes you plan, and then sometimes you don't plan well enough. this it's not like last week, where last week we lost because we lost to the game itself, the RNG of the game itself. This one was just, we got absolutely manhandled, and this is where, like I said, I admit when I get outplayed. I got outplayed here every step of the way, and I did not prep properly the way I should have prepped. And with that, I'm not too overly worried about it. Yes, we are sitting at 2-2 at -4. Like I said, we take a 5-0 loss here, so the only one who gets a kill is Kyron. I'm not gonna sit here and waste time with it, because there's no point in that. But what this does do is this does allow me to talk more about changes that are coming to the team. So there are more changes coming to the team. So as you saw last week, we dropped Regalis for Kyron. I approached another coach about a mon that he had that I wanted, that I was interested in, and he was interested in trading it. He was looking for a flyer that was a great physical powerhouse that could have hazard removal. I actually have one of those, Staraptor. So in order to get a mon off of his team, he wanted Staraptor. The problem was the mon that I wanted off of his team was a lower tier. So unfortunately, I would not be able to get it because he didn't have the extra points. But we worked out this trade, and it ends up coming to a 3-mon trade. And we end up trading Staraptor, Kyurem, and Ditto. Now, Ditto breaks my heart a little bit because I love Ditto. I do love Ditto, but it's just the way that it is. I felt in order to get what we needed for the team to get the right mixture and the right core for the team, that I needed to make this trade. So we do lose Staraptor, which sucks because Staraptor is such a great mon. I wish I could have brought it more, and actually I probably should have brought it this week. I should have brought the scarfed version of it this week. I should have brought double scarfers. As it would have been very good for us to do double scarf. I could have gone really good with the I could have easily bird spammed into stuff, and he, looking at it now, he didn't really have an answer for it other than this Rhydon. This Rhydon would have been his only answer to it. So we had to make these switches. Sorry, I'm trying to record this and I'm trying to do everything all at once, and I'm getting scatterbrained on this. So with that, we had to make some trades. We had to change it up a little bit. So we traded Staraptor. So one thing we needed to get was a mon for that was a tier 2 mon, because just point wise, like I said, he didn't have any extra points. We had to make this 3-person trade to make the points work. So he had to give me he was giving me a mon that was higher tier than what I had, and so he didn't quite have the points, if I remember correctly. I gotta look at the tier listings here real quick. Let's see here. It's tier 2. So yeah. So what ends up happening is that Staraptor is actually tier 2A, and the mon he gives me is tier 2B. So he still has 20 points that he has to come up with. He has to come up with these 20 points here. And so I'm basically trading down. I'm basically trading him for 20 points. And so what ends up happening is that I need to come up with 20 points. That's where the Ditto trade came into, is that he gives up a higher tier, one of his mons, for basically to cover the 20-point difference. And so all in all, it ends up being equaling the same amount of points. That's why I had to trade up one of my small ones, and Ditto had to go to the block. So in that, Staraptor goes. What do we get in trade for it? Delmies. I finally have my Fire, Water, Grass core I've been wanting. I've been wanting a really good grass type, and like I said, I didn't get one in the draft because they ended up getting sniped out before I was able to get any of them. So with that, we had to, I had to trade up Staraptor, and we ended up getting Delmise, which is good because this gives us a Rapid Spinner. This gives me a Dark type. It gives me a Grass type, and it's great Fire, Water, Grass core that we now built with Rotom Wash and Delmise and Heatran. So we have this great Fire, Water, Grass core, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to finish that. So with that, then comes Kyurem. So basically, Kyurem's points are being traded over for that. So what do I get? I just lose my dragon. I just dropped him on to get this dragon. Well, what do we get in return? Well, here's tier 2 mom. He traded me. He only had 2 that he wanted. that were up for early trade. One was Reuniclus, the other was Gudra. We ended up getting Gudra. So we end up trading and basically trading Kyurem for Gudra. Gudra's great. It's a pseudo legendary. It is a great dragon. It has a wide, vast move pool, and I love it. I love being able to get a chance to use Gudra again. Last time I didn't get the greatest chance of using it because of just how my team was built, but I'm hoping to really make a difference there. And then lastly, Ditto. Ditto goes around because, like I said, I had to trade a lower tier mon for his higher tier mon. He ends up giving me Electros for that. So we ended up getting Electros, which is cool because it's an Electros. You know, to me it was, you know, trade bait. I'm trying to get it for trade bait at this point. So with that, we make the 3 trade. We end up trading with Tone and the main red Clawzers. So they're the ones that get they're the ones who get my Staraptor, my Ditto, and my Kyurem, which oddly and funny enough is the person that we fight in week 5. We battle him in week 5. So basically we get to battle 3 of the ex-members of our team, and so I definitely have to make sure that I am prepared for that. With that, I also decided to cash in my last 2 free agency picks. So with that, I knew that Leavanny, I had to still keep it tier 5, as I wish I could have dropped Leavanny and just dropped Leavanny, but I had to make two drops in order to work the points around, as I still have to have a tier 5. So I just decided that I'm going to drop Leavanny as I don't need it anymore, and I decided to pick up Stoutland. Stoutland's great because it gives me another Intimidator, as what I had lost in an Intimidator, but it also gives me somebody with a very vast move pool, something that is kind of cool and just fun to play around with. And it's something that you might not even expect, especially if they bring a, you know, Sand Setters. I can definitely run Sand Rush against them, you know, maybe run the Intimidates. You know, and it's just a cool mon. I think it's like 100. I think it's like 504 or 505 base stat total, something like that. So it's not bad for a 3-stage evolution. So and it also gets Scrappy. So I can run Scrappy Returns. I can run Scrappy Banded Return or Scrappy Banded, you know, different things like that. So we end up still keeping our tier 5, but we just traded out for a more attack heavy mon instead of a utility mon. And the last one was that I dropped Electros. Now I waited and I tried to trade it out. I tried to see if I can get something for it, at least, you know, just trying to trade it out, see if I could get something. So, you know, I was trying to get a tier 5 that I really wanted to use, but then I ended up going with the Stoutland pick because I really wanted something else. So we dropped Electros and we still had 60 extra points. So I decided to cash into those extra points and pick up Tornadus Eye. Tornadus Incarnate was still on the board. It was never drafted, and so it just still gives me another flying type, a pure flying type, and it gives me a mixed attacker, which is very good because I can run it physical, I can run it special, I can run it mixed, I can run Prankster set, and it gets you know, it gets access to Prankster, which is really cool too. So I'm really looking forward to using it. So those are the new members of the team. We get Gudra, Delmise, Stoutland, and Tornadus as new members of the team. So I am excited that now we finally have a little bit more stability in our Fire, Water, Grass core, and it is looking very good. And we have a reliable Rapid Spinner. I don't have to run Scizor with Defog or anything like that. We still have, I think it's 2 or 3 Rock Setters. I think it's 2 Rock Setters, 1 Defogger, 1 Spinner. And then we have our Heal Bellers and all of that, and how we run that. So, but I like our Fire, Water, Grass core. I like the way it's running. I like the way that it works. It works all together. One is you know, each one covers the other weaknesses really well, and I like how the team is shaping up. So, with that, in our next match, we're going to be facing Tone in his main red Clawzers. As it is, the match is almost over, as you can see here. There's only a couple turns left, but next week we're going to be facing that his main red Clawzers, and I'm going to actually build a lot better. As once this week is over, I believe I go to my part-time schedule. The reason they had me full-time these last 2 weeks was for training purposes. So like I said, I've been kind of I've been doing more for that because real life is more important. This is a video game, and as fun as it is more important for me to have my real life in order is more important than that. I would say this to anybody. Pokemon will always be here. You can always come back to it. So handle your real life and then go. So since I didn't have a job and I hadn't had a job for the last month, getting this job and starting it and doing well in it and making sure that I was accustomed and ready for the schedule, for the changes that were coming with it, was a little bit more. So that's why I snagged down on my prepping. But here it is. We take our, here's the end of the match. So we take 5-0 loss. I still plan on trying to do very well. I believe we have some very good matchups coming up. We have to face the main red Clodsers this week, and then we face Top and his Rotoms, and then we face the Great Lake Greninjas and Isolate. So whether we play after that, who we play after that, I'm uncertain. I don't remember who we play after that. Who do we play in week 8? I believe it's Melbourne Metagross in week 8. So okay, so we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna get some sets. We're gonna do some more. So I am sorry that this match was really bad and was not very good for us, but I promise you guys I'm gonna do better next week. Also, I'm drafting for another league, so be on the lookout for that. On the lookout for that draft analysis video, which should be coming up in the next week or two. So we're in the middle of that too. So like I said, I kind of stretched myself thin, and I'm sorry the video is kind of me just kind of rambling on about stuff. But this is I'm just trying to get this out as soon as I can, so that way I don't have to delay this any longer. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and sorry it was all kind of me talking over a battle that had nothing really to do with the battle. But it is what it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe if you did, and I will see you in our next video when we battle Tone and his main red Clodsers and some ex-members of the team. So I'll see you guys later, and have a good day. All right.